Testing, 1, 2, 3. Good afternoon. Welcome to the draw for the British Open, the first tournament in the OSC main tour. Welcome if you're watching live or if you're watching it recorded. We're just going to go through the draw quickly. It's not going to take too long. Just a few quick things before we start. The players who have entered, looks as though we've got 12 players. I'll just show you them now. So we have Alex Jordan, Alan Lockett, Carlos Bigger, Dave Lewis, Jamie Anderson, Jim Kikakis, Kieran Leahy, Mohamed Fawzi, Nikos Gerelis, Papadakis Mixel, and Stephen Watts. Now, I think Ken Hopper may be playing. He's not entered on tournament. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. I will include him in the draw. If he's not playing, then whoever gets him will get a bye. On the right, you can see the wheel, and that has the 12 players. Let me just check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, with Ken, that's 12. And on your left, you can see this is the main tour table, which you can access on the website. This will be the one to follow over the season, and it has the 18 tournaments across the top there. In purple, it has the points for the winning player, and then it goes down in segments for runner-up and third, fourth, quarterfinal, etc. The grey at the top tells you how many players. 32 players were open, but obviously we've not got to that amount yet. That's something we still need to work on. So it looks as though probably most of the season it's going to be at least 16 places to concentrate on. And so the last 32 probably won't be in as the first round. It's probably going to be on a Tuesday, the last 16 round. And that is what it is tonight then, the last 16. Just to finish off on here, if you go on the website and go to series, and then you have a list of tours, just choose the main tour, which this one is, and then you can see the points table is there, and you just click on that and just allow 30 seconds for it to load. But this is where everything will play. We'll put the winners up here once the tournament has been decided. Now let's just go to the calendar. I just want to make sure that everyone is aware, or get the chance to at least say or give a few guidelines. So the main tour is played on a Tuesday and a Thursday at between 8 and 11. Now, obviously, you don't necessarily have to play 8 dead on, but you need to check with your opponent before it starts, before 8, just to make sure that they're not going to be waiting around if you want to start at 9 or half 9 or whatever. Just make sure that your opponent knows. There will be forfeits if there's no advance warning after an hour. So at 9 o'clock, if you're not here, then potentially you could get a forfeit. We'll have to just see how that goes. But there you can see, this is the draw now. If you go on the calendar on the website, if you just click on whatever is the entry, and you should see some information. For example, it tells you can go to the stage that it represents, and this is what this stage is. The last 16, best of 5, and it says 9:30 there. That was the original time, but from between 8 and 11 is the time we're looking to play the matches. So let's get on with it. So how it's going to work is I'm going to turn the wheel, and whichever player comes up will go to seed 1, and you will gradually see on the right here how the fixtures will turn out. So the first player will go in section 1, seed 1, and they will go here. As you can see, there's the list of players. I just need to add Ken on it, if you can just bear with me. Just be one moment. Okay, so Ken's been added. So 12 players are there on the wheel. Window Rotor is on holiday and has not entered the British Open. So 12 players it will be. So that looks as though a few players, half the players roughly, may get a bye for this round and the quarterfinal, and go straight into the quarterfinal, which is on Thursday. So without any ado, let's go through and make the draw for the British Open. So I'm going to click the wheel, spin the wheel, and whoever's name comes up first will go to seed 1. The next player I draw will go into seed 2. The next one I do will go into seed 3, and so on. And it will make up the list. This is a random draw. For the next tournament, the Northern Ireland Open, it will be split. And I will just tell you more about that in a moment. But let's make the draw now for tonight's British Open. So without further ado, I'll make the first spin now. So 12 players on that wheel, and it will be reduced. I'm actually going to just cover that for a moment. I just need to check that it's going to remove. Yes, it will remove. Okay, so let's have a look. So Alex Jordan is the first player and will be marked as seed 1. And he goes at the top there in the top half of the draw. So Alex Jordan, the first player, drawn. Now this next wheel won't necessarily mean that he will play him, and actually he won't. The next player will go here in number 2. So let's make the draw. 11 players left. Carlos Bigger is seed 2, which means that he will not meet Alex Jordan until the final, should they both get there. Let's go for seed 3 now. Looking at the 9 o'clock position on the wheel to see who is chosen next. It looks as though it's Stephen Watt, and it is Stephen Watt. Stephen Watt is seed 3 and is in the bottom half of the table and could meet Carlos Bigger. Let's go for seed 4. Jim Kikakis is seed 4. There's the confirmation. Jim Kikakis, the number 1 player from last season, probably favourite again for this season, goes into the top half of the draw with Alex Jordan. Let's go on to seed 5 now. It's a knockout round, of course. The winner will receive 100,000 points. Runner-up will receive 50,000. And so on. The losers of this round will not receive any points if you don't win a match in a knockout event, as Mohamed Farzi's seed number 5. And he is in the top half of the draw, and he will face Jim Kikakis. So that's the first match that has been decided. Jim Kikakis will play Mohamed Farzi. That's a very tough match for both players, and at least one strong player will not be in the quarterfinal. Let's go for seed 6. And Alan Lockett is seed 6. And he goes into the bottom half of the draw, the same draw, and he will play Stephen Watt in the last 16 in their first match. So Stephen Watt will play Alan Lockett, and Mohamed Farzi will play Jim Kikakis. Those are the 2 matches that we know so far. Let's go on to seed 7. Dave Lewis is seed 7. Not played many tournaments, but he has played a couple, I think, and he's laid his claim for in this first event of the season. And he is seed 7, so we'll play Carlos Bigger in the bottom half of the draw. Now, let me just check something here. Yeah. Actually, forgive me. I'm looking at them two here. Actually, Jim Kikakis hasn't got a opponent yet. Neither has any player. This is if they get into the quarterfinal. So I'm just going a bit too far ahead of myself here. So let's go on to seed 8, and we'll go through it in a second. And that just went to Jamie Anderson. Jamie Anderson is seed 8. Let's go for seed 9. Jamie Anderson goes into the top half of the draw and could face Alex Jordan in the quarterfinal if he wins his match, or if they both win their matches or get through. So this is for seed 9 now. 4 players left to choose from. And Ken Hopper is seed 9. And he does play Jamie Anderson, so that is an actual match. Jamie Anderson will play Ken Hopper this evening from 8 onwards. Let's go for seed 10. 3 players left to choose from. Kieran Leahy is seed 10. And he will play Dave Lewis. That is a match that has been decided. Let's go on to seed 11. 2 players left. So some players will get buys. Nikos Gerelis is seed 11. And that just confirms that Papa Lakis Mixol will be seed 12. So let's just save them. So that means we have Alex Jordan. He gets a bye into the quarterfinal. Jamie Anderson will play Ken Hopper. Jim Gikakis gets a bye into the quarterfinal. Mohamed Farzi will play Papadakis Mixel. In the bottom half of the draw, Carlos Bigger gets a bye. Dave Lewis will play Kieran Leahy. Stephen Watts gets a bye, and Alan Lockett will play Nikos Gerelis. So if we just look at that in terms of how that looks on the sheet, there you go. So unfortunately for Alex, Jim, Carlos and Stephen, tonight you won't get a match. We are trying hard, or if we can all try hard, to get at least another 4 regular players so we can make sure that some players are not waiting or expecting a match but don't get a match. But it is confirmed that Alex, Jordan, Jim Gikakis, Carlos Bigger and Stephen Watt go through, get a bye into the quarterfinal, which is on Thursday between 8 and 11. The matches to be played tonight are Jamie Anderson versus Ken Hopper, Mohamed Fawzi versus Papadakis Mixel, Dave Lewis versus Kieran Leahy, and Alan Lockett versus Nikos Gerelis. Best of 5, first to 3. So I will post that shortly. But just before we go, let me see if there's anything I have forgotten. If you have any questions, just post it in the green room or privately, but we'll leave it there. That is the draw. I will post the draw up for those relevant. You can see on the screen for you now, and I'll leave that up for a moment just to confirm the scores. But good luck to all players, and we'll see you tonight.